a while we've been eyeing the purslane in the garden, and I've been wanting to make pickled purslane, which I did a bunch of years ago. We had a lot of purslane that just came up in the garden. We didn't plant any seeds or anything. And I thought, oh, I bet that would be good pickled. And I looked it up on the internet and found what looked like a really good method, and that's what I did, and it was amazing. And I have been meaning to do it every year since. So Sean went out and harvested this big bowl of purslane for me, and I'm going to pick through, and it would have been better if we'd harvested it a little sooner. It's like gotten pretty woody in the stems, but it'll still be workable. So I'm gonna pick through and just take off the hard stems as the first thing. This recipe calls for 650 grams of purslane, which is a fair amount of purslane. We've just been watching the patches expand in the garden with the thought of harvesting when it seemed like we amassed enough to do this pickle, which I think, if I remember correctly, it filled this one jar, but maybe it was more than one jar. So this should be enough. Sean said it's like 800 grams with the woody stems, I think, so hopefully when I pick through I'll have enough. A mixture of hot vinegar and spices get poured over it, so it will definitely soften a lot of this material. But some are just so tough that it's like a little tree. I'm gonna not keep those, but just gonna go through and pull off, and this can go away. That'll take a little while. This seems fine. You know, if some stems go in that are too hard, people can always move them to the side of their plate, but we'll try to make it so it's nice for people who are eating this. There's lots of seed. That's how it was when I made it before too. We kind of waited until the last possible moment, but it's gonna be good. Some of the stems that look woody seem like they'll be okay on this. I keep tasting them to see. When they get really tough down at the bottom, you know, purslane has this nice lemony mucilaginous quality, and when you get really down into the woody stem, it doesn't have much flavor anymore, and it's not very pleasant. But this part of the stem is totally fine, so I'm trying to keep as much as I can in here. I have the purslane processed, and I'm gonna weigh and see if I have the 650 grams that I'm hoping for. There's a bunch of seed left in the bottom of the bowl, and I'll sprinkle that back outside.
Nice.
Okay. Let's see what we've got here. I think this is going to be good. There's a lot more seed down there too. Well, maybe a little shy then. Well, it's like 625. It's okay. That's what we'll stick with that. I'm just gonna divide it, I think, into 2 jars because you need to add like a bunch of hot peppers and stuff like that. So I want room for all those things. The jars are supposed to be sterilized so that you could like keep it in your basement or something, but we're gonna keep it in the fridge, so I'm not gonna sterilize these jars. In an effort to just get this happening. Better if I just put it in without this funnel, I don't know. Once the hot vinegar gets poured on it, it'll take up less space in the jar, so I guess I am gonna just kind of pack it in here. In fact, yeah, I think it should be 2 jars. Okay. Put a little purslane seed in the pickle, I guess, and there we go. We have the purslane in our jars, and now we're making the vinegar mix that we'll pour over the purslane and let it pickle in there. So the recipe calls for 20 hot peppers. We're going to use, it was pretty spicy, so obviously if you don't like spicy, you can leave out the peppers. We like spicy, so we're putting it in. Although Zelda, well, she'll have to get a little older before she eats this. I'm using hot peppers that we had dried. I don't know if we dried these or Sean's friend Eric maybe gave these to us. Anyway, 20 peppers here in the pot, and then 1,000 milliliters of red wine vinegar. I have 2 jars plus a little bit in a jar, and that amounts to just about what we need. So we shall pour that in. You know what? I think the peppers maybe aren't supposed to boil with the vinegar. I'm not sure what I did before. My directions are a little. I'm gonna just put the peppers in. I'm gonna put the peppers in with the purslane so they don't make it so spicy that we can't eat it by cooking so much. So anyway, we have the vinegar and a cup of water we're gonna put in with the vinegar. We'll share the actual recipe in a better way in the description, but okay. Here's the cup of water. I'm gonna take these peppers out. Maybe we want them to flavor it, but not so much that it becomes like pepper tea that we pour in. Okay, get the water, and then very generous, I gave 1/4 cup of honey. I'll put that in. And then we will bring this to a boil, and then we'll just pour it over the purslane. That's the whole shebang. Adding the salt into this brew too, so it completely dissolves and I can be sure of it. So it's 2 tablespoons of this pink salt, which we happen to have a little bag of. 2 tablespoons of pink salt. I don't think I had pink salt when I did this the other time, and it was still really good. So this pink salt, and then a teaspoon of not pink salt. Okay, now we shall bring this to a boil, and then we'll simmer it for 5 minutes, and then we'll let it cool. We're not going to pour it boiling onto the purslane, otherwise the purslane will really turn to mush. And we'll add these spices when we do that. Shouldn't have probably started out with plastic. She's just licking the salt right up that was left on the teaspoon.
Nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
We took a little absence from this pickle, and now it's nearly nighttime and we need to finish it up. So I changed my mind again. I wanna put it all in one jar. I think it'll fit, and I think it'll be better all in one jar. And I want to layer in the hot peppers, so I'm just gonna divide it up this way instead. So put it all in one jar, and I'll layer in these hot peppers. I'm gonna stick this in and push it down. Put a little more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you want to hold that together? But we don't want to touch these because these are really hot. There you go. Thank you. You want to sit on the counter and try to push some of this stuff in?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry, we won't pour boiling fluid this time. We did that the one time and people were concerned. Okay. Okay. Okay, here, you push it. I'll put it in and you can push it, okay? Let me put it in and you push it. Okay. It takes a lot longer to get stuff done with little kids involved in it. Okay, now we're gonna pour in all these spices. We have mustard seed.
Yeah.
I got you. What do we have here? We have mustard seed, black peppercorns, coriander seed, and fennel seed.
Yeah.
It's a teaspoon of each, I think, but we'll write this all up in the description because I know this little. Okay, there we go. We put those in, and then we
watch the spicers.
Yeah, don't touch those spicers. And then
Yeah, see.
we have our vinegar and water and salt mixture that we've let cool down. It's still a little warm, which is what I want, but I just don't want it to be super hot. And then we're gonna pour this over this. Ooh. Yeah, this is the right decision because this will cover this. Right.
No more.
No more. You stay right there.
Yeah, you want.
Make sure we get all this salt out of this thing. Okay.
Spicers.
That's it. Yep, spicers. I feel like when I did this before, I probably poured it boiling, but hopefully this will
Whoop.
do the trick. And then the recipe has you cover it with olive oil for preservation, but since we're storing it in the fridge, it's kind of unnecessary, but it added a good flavor when we did that before, so I'm going to do that again. Can I have this?
Yeah.
I'm going to take this back. Okay. Nice! Nice job! You did a really good job with that. Nice one. Okay. There's our purslane pickle. We're going to cover it and just let it sit for 5 days and then give it a try and see what it's like.
Mama.
Yeah?
Mama.
Yeah.
Mommy.
There we go. Look at that, what we have.